In today's version of Wig Mythbusters, I want to share with you a common misconception that you hear a lot. And why should you listen to me? Well, I have been wearing wigs for over 20 years. So, seen and done it all at this point. So, not that my advice is always perfect, but I try and give you my perspective on what works and what doesn't work and why. So, one of the things I hear all the time is to air dry your wig. Now, this isn't to say that air drying is just inherently bad for your hair. It's not. But there's pros and cons of why you should air dry your hair and when you should air dry your hair and basically how long you should air dry your hair. So air drying your hair can do some good things. It does reduce the amount of heat styling that you may need to do. So that's a good thing. But what's the downside of air drying your hair? Well, the major downside to air drying your hair is that your wig has knots, especially on your lace top. But if you've got a hand-tied wig, it's got knots literally all over your cap. And when you're air drying, those follicles expand and then contract. And when you do that, you may experience increased shedding. So it's not to say that every time you air dry, a bunch of hair is going to fall out. That's not the case. But this is more of a repeated time after time. You're going to keep basically stressing your hair just a little bit each time. And then eventually you're going to get increased fallout. So what should you do instead? Well, you can do what I like to do. What I like to do is a partial air dry. I kind of wait until, it's about like 70% of the way dry. And then I finish it with a little bit of heat. So what do? Okay, I put on heat protectant. I start with the cap. So I start with my blow dryer on the inside of the cap. Make sure that the cap is nice and dry. So you're not stretching out your cap or your lace because that's really, really important. And then I really finish with what my styling is. So if I'm gonna curl the hair, I'll use my Dyson and kind of do those nice curls. If I'm going for sleek and straight, I'll use a round brush and just get that extra heat on there. So those are my tips for why air drying isn't the end all be all the time, and what might be better for your wig long term instead. Follow me for more wig education.